All right. Good morning. You have your bands with you. Let's just drape them around our neck to start with. Roll our shoulders up, back and down. Step out into a wide stance. Grab your band, palms up, right? Thumb between your thumbs and your, what do you call these? Index fingers. Roll them down your shoulder. Give me a little rounding. Feel a little bit of work right here, your chest muscles, and then flip it the other way, which is where I was headed, and get a nice stretch. In other words, open your heart. And let's do that a couple times. Press open, lift the ribs, everything, relax. Press open. If you need to, go closer on your band, feel free. Open. And one more time, open. And then keep your arms behind you, drop them down, but pull your ribs in, right? So if you were popped up, pull those ribs in, and then just bring those arms a little bit more in line with you instead of behind. Shoulders back and down, ribs pull down. We're going to keep those ribs down. As I said, that was just to open your heart. Bring the bands in front of you, double them up for me, and go wide. Remember, when you're holding the bands, if you can have lengthened out fingers, that's nicer, and make sure you don't cock your wrist like that or down. From here, shoulders back and down, check those ribs that they're pulled down. Whoops. As you begin to lift your band with some tension, so pull out on the band, right? And pull up and out, up and out, up and out. One more, up and out, making sure that you didn't shift your weight and arch, right? Ribs pull down, weight is a little bit more forward than back. And now just push out on the band, push out on the band, push out on the band, and start to bring it down in front of you. Keep your ribs pulled in, push out, ribs in and down, push out, and push out. Whew, and relax. You might have felt that in your shoulders a little bit, but again, we were trying to get that opening across the upper back and ribs pulled down and in. All right, let's do just a little bit of standing work here. So we're going to step on the band with the arch of your right foot. We're going to put the band in your left hand. And again, we're going to try to hold it just between the thumb and the index finger. Rotate open, so this shoulder is open, and then lift the arm the tiniest bit to create tension. And then lean over, bend your left knee, lift your right leg. Turn your toes down, tighten your quad, and then keep your arm plastered where it is, but lift the leg. So just leg work for now. As you turn those toes in, you should feel that on your outer hip. A little bend in this left leg allows you to work that quad at the same time. Nice. Now put that foot down and then move your band into your right hand. Step a little farther this time with that left leg. Right hand is going to come down from your shoulder. So try and have that straight line. Lift that leg up, pull the arm forward a little bit, toes tap and up. Now, if you want to create more tension, you can bring the arm forward as you lift the leg. Keep this left knee bent. You could, if you wanted to, even take that for the heck of it into a bicep curl, or you can continue to work the front of the shoulder by bringing the arm forward. Totally up to you, bicep curl or arm forward. Last two, last one, hold it up and bring it down. Keep that band in your right hand. And gracefully, my feet apparently are sweaty already. Step into the band with your left leg. And then we step out, we bend that right knee slightly, we turn those left toes in, we tighten that quad, we tighten that leg, arm out and palm open, and then we lift the leg. And we lift the leg, and again, we're bending into that right leg. Make sure your abs are pulled in, your ribs are pulled down as you do this. Beautiful. Bring that into the same hand. So left hand, left leg, Bend the right knee a little bit more, arm down from your shoulder, and we lift that leg. And at the same time, if you want to, you can press that arm a little forward. You could even do a little bicep curl if you want, or you can just keep it down in front of you with tension on it. Good, bring it up. And there we go. All right, we are headed down onto the ground with our bands, please. Keep that band folded in half and just bring it around behind your hamstrings. Palms face the ceiling. We're going to use our biceps and our abs, but we're going to use the arms enough so that as we roll down, we can keep our legs on the ground. We can keep our belly button pulled in. We can take about 8 counts to get down. All right, and there we go. All right, from there, we're going to put the band over your right foot. Now, as always, if you have a rolling band, you might want to crisscross it in front of the foot, but if you have a flat band, you could probably do this. Keep your left knee bent, push your right shoulder blade down. We're going to point and flex that foot just a couple times to warm up those feet. Good, and then both hands here. All right, so this is kind of weird, or maybe not. I want you to pull on the left side so your toe turns in, and then pull on the right side so you go the other way. So you're going to invert and evert, invert and evert, evert, invert, invert, evert. Go quickly. We're getting mobility in both the little tendons and muscles at the bottom of the foot, working that fascia, and also strengthening that ankle. A couple more. Good, and then let it relax. You might feel some heat because, as I mentioned, those are, or maybe I didn't, but those are small muscles. All right, now let's go ahead and point that foot. We're going to draw a tiny circle on the ceiling and finish the circle for leg circles, but all we're going to do is make sure there's no movement in the hips. So you inhale to start your circle and you exhale to finish it and reverse. And of course, with leg circles, you want to imagine having something on your hips that you don't want to spill and your ribs are pulled down. Your left leg, if you want, could be straight and flexed. And then as you feel more confident, you can make bigger circles, but keep in mind that you still want to keep those hips really quiet. So this one is all about stability in the torso, and the leg gets to move freely, especially since we're using that band. So I'm going to use my arms even to help create the circle, right? So normally I just do this from the legs, but I'm going to use my arms as much as I want to so that I can see how big I can make that circle and still keep the hips quiet. Good, let's go one more in each direction. And we'll finish. We'll bring that foot in with a bent knee. We're going to press the heel to the sky, and then we'll take that band off. Just a little extra love there. And then the band goes across that left foot. And we'll start with that in our left hand, and we'll point and flex a couple times, creating some movement in that foot. And then we're going to go ahead and grab each side. I'm going to pull down on the arch side to turn my foot in like a sickle. I'm going to pull on the outside to evert it the other way. So we're going to invert and evert. And I'm trying to create this movement with the band. My foot might help a little bit, or my ankle, but I'd rather you try and create it from the band. And you might feel this in your calf and maybe even in your shin. But again, getting some mobility, stability through that ankle as it gets stronger. And then we'll come back to center. And now we're going to point the toes. We're going to stabilize those hips and start with some small circles. Abs drawn in. Begin your circle with an inhale, finish with an exhale, you know that. If you want to, you can straighten out that right leg and flex through the heel, and then you can start to make your circles bigger, and you can start to use the arm to create those bigger circles, so long as the hips aren't wobbling. And you might notice one side is a little different from the other. And then we're going to come back up. We're going to bend that knee. We're going to pull everything in nice and close. And then flex through the heel for a quick little hamstring stretch. Both arms overhead, toes reach the opposite way. And then on the exhale, let's bend those knees and bring the hands right above us. Let's go ahead and fold that band in half, please. And arms are about shoulder width apart. Press the shoulder blades down, nod the head yes. Deep breath in. On the exhale, lift the fingers towards the sky as your torso comes up. Press out on the band and see if you can lift it by your ears for ab prep. Hold here, exhale down, loosen the tension. Here we go again. Exhale to lift, inhale, arms reach overhead as you push out on the bands. Exhale down, inhale, prepare, exhale, lift. Inhale, reach, pull out on the bands, exhale down. Again, exhale, lift, inhale, arms reach and press, and exhale down. Again, exhale, lift, inhale, reach, press out, exhale down. 2 more times, exhale, lift, inhale, reach and press, exhale down. You're holding this time, lift, bring your arms overhead, press out, pulsing, push, 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 abs a little deeper, ribs a little flatter, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the band behind your head, elbows reach to the sky, but head rests completely in that band, like a little slingshot. And then come back down. You're going to exhale, you're going to lift up, you're using your triceps a little bit, but you're allowing that head to be super relaxed. We're going to do just a few more like that, then we're going to add on. So exhale to lift, inhale to hold, exhale to lift, inhale to hold. So again, because we're using those bands to help us, really focus on getting this work in the abs. Last time, exhale, lift, meet me, tabletop position. Allow that head to stay in that relaxed position if you can. Bring your bands behind you, and we're going to do sort of a different 100. So I want you to push out, 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 out like that. So you're going to inhale, press, 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 and exhale 5 times. And inhale, and exhale. As always, the arms can stay, or excuse me, the legs can stay here. They could be extended, they could be out on an angle, or you could bend on the inhale and extend on the exhale. Now keep those arms going. If your neck is bothering you, you could go right back here, right? And just do that work with the legs bending and extending. Totally up to you. And then we're going to bring those bands over the shins as you come down. Pull them nice and close in. Take a little rock. Then we're going to bring that band onto the front of the right thigh. And we're going to reach our fingers long. We're going to lift the right leg into tabletop. So shin parallel with the ground, knee over your hip, left leg up in the air. Exhale, reach to the left toes. And I want you to push your hands toward your right heel as you pull your right leg toward you. Exhale, come down, deep breath in. Exhale, lift, pull and press. Exhale, down. Again, lift and press. And down. And press. So I'm pushing that right thigh against the band. I'm pushing the band against the thigh. So single leg press instead of stretch. Pull, sorry. Good. 2 more times. Last time, bring it down, switch it up. So band across the top of the left thigh, and our right leg is going up as we lift. We're going to press, reach, and down. Inhale, exhale, press, reach, hold, inhale, exhale, down. Press, reach, and down. And again, keep going, push and reach, and down, and reach, and reach, and reach, and reach and take a break. While you're there and your feet are close, let's put those feet in your band. Now, if your band is short, this may not work out for you, so we might have to change it a little bit. But you're gonna bring those legs into tabletop, and then hands are gonna be in your bands. Deep breath in, exhale, head, neck, and shoulders extend, legs reach, and arms reach overhead for double leg stretch. But see if you can lift yourself a little higher, but you don't get to do that. Don't lower those legs, just lift your chest higher, and then a little slack. And I'm letting the head come down at least the first couple of these. Deep breath in, exhale, stretch, lift. I'm pushing out on the band with my legs. I'm lifting up with my arms and down. Again, here we go. And reach and bend on the exhale. Inhale, reach. Now, if you want to leave the head up, you're welcome to. But if that bugs you, you can put it down the whole time. You're really, working with these levers anyway, so your head could be down. Or if you want, normally I don't do this, but since we're doing a slower double leg stretch, you can stay up and then come down, stay up and then come down. Totally up to you. But again, you're pressing out against that band when you lift up. Couple more here. You're also getting outer hip work. And stay up, stay lifted. Do me a favor, bring your hands, crisscross your bands, and see if you could start rolling yourself up, 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 up to your legs. What? Legs are way up here, right? Legs are above your head-ish. Bend your knees. Woo! Put your feet on the ground, but keep hold of your bands. All right, stretch those legs out a little bit, press out against the band. So I've got tension, I'm feeling this on the outer thighs, and I have those bands crossed. Bring your your fingers to point down, elbows a little higher. We're gonna do a little bit of a rowing motion here, but palms are lower than elbows, which are lower than shoulders. If you have the flexibility to straighten your legs, feel free to do so, but you got to promise that this doesn't happen, right? So if that happens, go back to those bent knees. And again, outer hips should be still feeling this, as well as now some shoulder work. Beautiful. All right, flip the bands, biceps, pull yourself forward into a spine stretch. Some of you, again, if you have a long enough band, you might be able to flip it around, put your palms on the ground and hinge forward. All right, woo, let's let go of that on our feet. Move those feet around a little bit. Give me some ankle circles both ways. Pedal those feet out a bit. All right, and then we go back to that bent knee position. And bands again are coming behind us. So just like at the beginning of class, when we rolled down a vertebra at a time, we're going to kind of work that roll down, see if we might be able to go a little farther than we normally do. So palms are up, shoulders are down, exhale, hinge back to where you normally would on a roll down. And then just test it out and see how much farther you could go without your feet coming up. And then pause at the bottom, and then you use your biceps. And because I'm using my biceps, I can really pull my abs in and not make them be lazy, right? That they still have to work. So you're just exhaling as far as you feel like you can, inhaling at that bottom level and exhaling back up again, using your arms as much as you need to. And yes, you could certainly go all the way down to a roll up if you want, but you might want to play with just doing this partial roll down and seeing how much you can use those abs, how much you can pull them in, because you're getting some help with those arms. All right, next time you come up, you're going to stay up And our bands are behind our thighs, so they're in perfect position for us to turn them and face the front. Take the top hand through the loop and grab the tails with that top hand as you lie down. Ta-da! So before I even start, I'm going to pull my band a little tighter so I have a longer tail, so I have tension, so my legs already feel as if I can't separate them. And then, as always, in this position, you want your waistline lifted and your hips and knees stacked. So we're going to do a miniature set of clam, and then we're going to add on. So you're going to lift your legs so everything's in a line, right? I'm not here and I'm not here. My shin is in a straight line. And then I'm just going to push it farther open for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I keep the tension on my band. I put my heels down and I do that again. Push open 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now knees come down for a second, legs go up, and then I open again with those heels in the air. I push farther open 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now here comes the add-on. Bottom knee stays bent, top leg goes straight, create that tension, turn your toe down, and press open, open, open. Yes, we're doing twice as many. And relax. Whew. That longer lever, I hope, made you feel that a little bit more. Give those hips a little bit of love. We're going to switch to the other side. So I usually suggest that you make the folded part where your hands come through. That usually is across the top of your leg, and then you grab the bottom. And then knuckle down, right? Which means my hand's going to stay on the ground. Waistline lifts, hips and knees in a straight line. First, I start with the leg open, and then I push open more for 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels go down, and we open again. 8, 2, and 1. Knees down, heels open. Open that leg, and we lift 8. Beautiful. Bottom leg down, top leg straight. Keep some pressure. Turn the toe down and press. Woo, and relax. Give that hip some love. We're going to turn over onto our abs. And band is out in front of us, still folded in half. Just let your upper body rest for a second, forehead resting on those hands. Let's check in with that lower body, straighten out those legs, get on the tops of those toes, lift your knees, but keep the toes down, pull the belly button in, and then reach out and grab that band. Deep breath in, exhale, lift your upper body, lift your elbows, lift your hands, and now lift your legs. And now we're going to push out on the band, and let's match that with our legs. So rather than flutter kick, I want you to push out, push out, push out, push out, push, 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 push. And relax. Woo. Let's windshield wiper those legs for a moment, please. And then bring them down. So we're going to do breaststroke, and it's going to be a little challenging to keep the tension on the band the whole time. So at one point it's going to go a little slack. That's okay. But get those toes facing down, get those kneecaps lifted, pull that belly button in, lift those arms as if you're doing breaststroke. That's an inhale. Pull back on your exhale, dive forward and pull back. That was an inhale, sorry. Dive forward, pull back, and see if you can open your arms. Pull on that band, squeeze those shoulder blades, lift and pull, lift and pull out and around, pull out and around. One more time, inhale, pull out, hold it here, elbows high, tension, and relax. Woo, now we get to push back, resting position, arms in front by your sides, for shell stretch or behind your legs if that would feel better. All right. And then we're gonna bring that band single behind your armpits. Or excuse me, behind your back, underneath your armpits. And then a fairly long tail at this point. Come on down. So sort of a baby cobra. But then what I want you to do is slide the band so you have more tension. Slide it again. So now you feel tension against the band and your shoulders. And all I want you to do, and this movement comes from the shoulders, nowhere else, push against the band. Push against the band. Push. Try and keep your head in line with your spine. I know you might look at me initially, but then try and line it up. And just feel that movement in that shoulder girdle area. Pressing back. It's actually your whole kind of thoracic rib cage area that's moving. 2 more times. Nice. Keep the pressure there. And all I want you to do with that pressure is pop up into your favorite version of a plank, fronts of the thighs or on the tops of the toes. And you're going to do the exact same thing. Push. So again, I'm not doing anything with my hips. It should just be between the shoulder blades. Pinkies stay down. Mat is between, or band is between those hands. If it's too much tension, you're getting, arthritis in your hands, wrap them, right? And then press, pressing up, pressing up. Small movement. You might see my hips move, but the movement's initiated between the shoulder blades for 8. Abs in, 6, 4, and relax. Woo! All right, listen up. Put your left arm, no, I'll do it this way. Put your right arm on the ground, palm down. And then I want you to start rolling onto your right hip. Left foot goes down, and you should feel a stretch in the front of your right shoulder. You can put your left hand on your left hip to guide it farther for more of a stretch. Woo, and then come down. Left arm out, palm down. And then we're going to roll onto that left hip. Bend your knees as needed. Keep your head down. Right hand on the right hip, you could even guide it farther back. If you're not feeling this in the shoulder, make sure your left arm is reaching as far to the left as it can. Beautiful. Come on back over, press up to your hands and knees. Let's roll through a cat cow. It's actually a heart cow this month, but Get some nice mobility through the spine. Stagger those hands a little bit. Stagger them the other way. Bring your hands out in front of you, stagger one knee. Good. Stagger the other knee. All right, now we're coming back over onto our spine. Band is with you, of course. All right, so let's double up the band. Try and get your the tails even. Take one hand through the folds you created, and then drape those bands across your hips, right at the hip flexor. Hold that band as best you can with flat fingers. So now, with that band across your hips, your hip flexors, all 10 fingers, try and get all 10 fingers on the ground. Try to get your wrist as close to the ground as possible. Your forearm, your elbow, your triceps, and your shoulders. Notice if they've lifted, push them back. Lift them up, push them back, lift them up, push them back, lift them up, push them back, leave them there. Pull the ribs down, nod your head yes, lift the hips up against the bands. And now with your hands staying down, lift the hips a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. Push up against the band, pushing up. and relax. Keep the band where it is. Let your arms rest over your head, palms facing the ceiling for a moment. Then bend your elbows, let the palms go the other way. Passive little stretch here. It should feel good on the wrists and the triceps with the elbows pointed up. And shake that out. And grab that again, because we're not done with that bridge. So again, one hand goes through the fold, and then the other hand is trying to hold on with all 10 fingers, all 5 fingers of that hand on the ground. Wrist down, forearm down, elbow, tricep, shoulders, ribs down, lift it up. Let's extend that left leg straight out so it's squeezed up against the right knee, not way up here, down here. And then we push up, push up. Two more. Beautiful. Bend the left knee and let's extend that right leg. Same thing, glue it to the right left knee and we push up. Two more. And bring that down. You're going to bring that band behind your hamstrings and take a quick break. Little stretch for everything. Just enjoy that. Don't worry about me. All right, now you get to worry about me. Not really. All right, the band is across both feet now, right? And bands in your hands, elbows down. And I want you to turn those toes in and push out on the band. So again, you're going to feel that work down the outside of your legs. Flatten your ribs, pull your belly button in. Lower those legs. Now, since we're using our arms, we should have more control. Press out on the band when you get to your most challenging level. Sorry, I have a fold in the band. Good. All right, ribs in, and then inhale, come up 4 and 3, slowly 2 and 1. Here we go again. Lower 4, 3, 2. You get to your most challenging, press out on the band, lift up 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, lower and go and hold at the bottom. Good. So start doing this with your own breathing. Normally it would be inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up, but you may need to take some extra breaths. Then I want you to switch things up and turn your toes out and your heels in. Now this is going to change it, and as you push out, you might feel your quads work a little more. And then slowly lifting up. My legs are starting to bounce. And we slowly go down. We push out. We keep those toes turned out and those heels pulled in. Keep that going for me, please. All right, next time you come up, bend the left knee, put that foot on the ground, tighten up on that right side and let the right arm bring the leg to the right. So your toes are flexed back, hamstring stretch, and opening up inner thigh stretch. Bring that back to center, put your left foot in the band, move your right foot out, bring it over to the left, get it close to your forehead for that hamstring, and over to the left for that inner thigh. All right, come on back. Bring your hands on both sides of your band, and the band can be across the whole foot or just across the arch, but just make sure it's in a safe spot. Bend the knee till the rib touches the thigh, and then tighten. So my band feels as tight as it can be. Straighten the leg, bend it, straighten it, bend, straighten. Don't let your arms go up and down. I think mine were. Maybe glue your arms to your sides. So you're going to feel your biceps stabilizing. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten, bend and straighten. You should feel this in the back side of your leg, hamstring, I'm hoping a little bit of glute, and then you can start to bring it out on an angle and try it out on an angle and just see how that is for you. Bending and straightening, bending and straightening, bend and straighten. Make sure the foot is flexed, right? Not pointed, so we're getting the back side of that body. And 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, press it, and then just let the leg hang. And then again, not using the leg, but using the arms, pull it up, and that should help stretch that out. And then we get to do the other side. Yippee! All right, so band across the foot, just not in a dangerous way. Choke up on it, bend that knee in so it's next to your ribs. Press and press. Glue your elbows to your hips or somewhere where you have awareness that your arms aren't moving up and down. Press and press and press and press. Push and push. You could go out on an angle if you want. Push and push. And then, let the leg hang in space and bring it up over you for a nice deep stretch. While it's there, let's put that left foot back in, and feet can stay together, and hands are going to go up pretty close, right? As close as you feel like you can get, right? Deep breath in, press your legs open just the tiniest bit so you have a little tension on the band. Exhale, roll the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, and you can start to let the legs lower because you guys did this earlier, and then come up and hold that in that balanced position. From here, see if you can come up and get your arms overhead with your legs higher than your eyes. So this does not work for me. If you need to do that, bend your knees instead, right? Not down here, but knees bent. And then if you can, straighten them, and lift them. We're gonna rock with safety, rock, open leg rocker. Exhaling to rock, inhale to pause at the top. You'll be able to do this better if you have a closer grip. But again, I don't want those feet to go lower than your eye level. If you do, I want you to go to those bent knees. Next time you come up, you get to come up, bend the knees, and relax. Ignore the bands and relax your upper body completely over your legs. All right, we're going to take a moment for foot love. We're going to do this twice, not in 2 different ways. So bend your knees, sit up on your booty, enough that you can get your wrist at your big toes, right? So I've got a good grip in my feet. My hands are down at the arches, so I'm going to, or my fingers are, I'm just going to stroke those arches, right? Then some of us will be able to hinge a little bit more. And then I just want you to start pulling the feet back with your hands and then pushing the toes forward, right? So push against the hand and then pull back, push against the hand and pull back. Do both at the same time if you can. A minute ago, I was moving the ankle, but now I want the movement from the toes. Good. And then bring your hands around to the outsides of the feet so you can grab those arches and massage those arches. And then bring those hands up to your toes again. Each toe, pull back the big toe, pull back the next toe, middle toe, ring toe, pinky toe. And then you're going to push them forward. So I'm going to push against the pinky toe, but resist. Push against the next toe, but resist. Next toe, big toe. And then lastly, I'm going to pull those toes back again and sit tall. As I said, we'll do a little bit more toe love, foot love in a few minutes, but now we're back to lassoing our foot as we did a minute ago. So we're going to bring that band behind the feet, and we're going to have the feet a little bit apart, maybe not as far apart, and we're going to choke up on that band quite a bit, and we're going to lift the legs. This time we're going to be tabletop. And I'm going to see if I can roll down without my knees moving and roll back up even if I have to grab my band and tighten it and use my biceps. I'm trying to do this. Again, my arms can move, right? But I'm trying to do it without moving my knees. So movement in the upper body without movement in the lower body. And then we're going to straighten the legs, and you can try it with straight legs. So I'm trying to keep my feet where they are and not let them come forward and back. All right, once you come up, then you're going to try and move your legs without moving your upper body. All right, you know what's coming. Move your legs, move your upper body. So you're lying down. Isn't this nice? It's like Shavasana, except, you know, the teaser's coming. If you need to, go back to one or the other. If you're going to do the teaser with me, you go from a flat position, deep breath in, you exhale, you turn this into a V by lifting the head, neck, and shoulders at the same time as the feet. You sit up on that tailbone as much as possible, try and get those legs as high as possible, and then you bring it all down. Deep breath in, you exhale to fold and lift, and you inhale down, and you exhale to fold and lift, and we're going to try and all get here at the same time. Think about lifting your legs. Think about lifting your arms by your ears. Sit up on those sit bones and bend. Woo! Bring your band down beside you. Mosey your way back down. Put that band across the toes and the ball of the right foot for me, please. And then extend that up. And just put the band in your right hand. Pull the toes and the ball of the foot towards you and press the heel up. And then push the ball of the foot toward the ceiling and then point the toes. And now the toes are going to pull back, ball of the foot is going to press up, heel is going to press up. And then we're going to go ball of the foot and toes, and then toes come back, ball of the foot, press. And then we let that leg drop to the right as we did earlier, just for a moment. Bring your left arm across. Back up through center, straighten the left leg, turn the right toes in, really sickle this because we can use that band to help get that extra stretch. And then I'm going to slide my hands down so that I can put my left elbow on the ground and let that right leg hang in space for a much deeper outer hip stretch. Then I'm going to take the band off as I bend the right knee and put it across the left thigh and thread my needle. I'm going to keep the left foot on the ground, use the right hand to push the left knee open so that now I can use my left hand to give that foot, that right foot, that final bit of love. Right, so you might even massage up at the ankle. I like to, you know, kind of get some mobility through here. And again, now I can really roll up and down that foot. I put my fingers between each toe, and then I turn them in circles in different ways. I curl them and extend them, and I'll press against them one way and then the other. And maybe you make a fist and roll it up and down that arch, just get some life into those feet. And then finally, we're going to thread our needle, bring that left knee in, press that right leg open, deep, deep, deep stretch, and then close the gap, hug the left knee in, arms into a T, knees drop left. And then roll on back through center, stretch it out. I hope that from the right toes all the way up through that right hip, life is better on the right side. And then we bend the right knee. We're going to lasso the left ball of the foot and toes. Tighten up on that band in your left hand. Toes and ball of the foot are back, heel is up. And then ball of the foot and then toes press up. Pull them back, 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 heel up. And then up, up, up. And then back, back, back. And up, up, up. One more time, we pull them back. And we'll let that elbow drop over to the left, get that inner thigh and hamstring stretch for a moment. Reach over with the right hand, straighten the right leg, sorry. Siggle the foot, get that outer hip stretch, and then right elbow rests on the ground so the leg can just hang in space. As we bend that left knee, we put it on the ground next to the right thigh, pivot open, slide that in, push the left leg open, and now that right hand can give that left foot some love. So again, sometimes I think it feels good to create space between the toes by putting my fingers there. You could use a fist up and down the arch. You can grab those ankles and give it some rotation. You can push the toes in one direction and then the other, creating resistance. And then we'll thread that needle for a moment, pushing out on that left leg. And then we crisscross all the way, arms into a T, knees drop, right. And then as we come back through center, all right, in the month of February, it's not cat-cow, it's cat-heart. And the heart makes that ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom sound. So you can unmute and make that with me, or you can do that at home on your own. And we're gonna undulate it just to make it even better. So we come forward in that heart, ba-boom, 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 and roll back in that cat. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Last time. Boom, boom, boom. All right, and then we'll lift those booties up in the air, press the hips towards the sky, walk out those feet a bit, and then hands on your thighs. One more cat. One more heart. Boom, 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 boom. Bring your hands to your heart. Bring your weight in your heels and your booty. Big deep breath in. Happy Valentine's Day. All right, and we have one more trivia here. Valentine.